A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining our Homeopathy 24/7 podcast. We are going to be speaking to an array of international guests who will share their knowledge and experiences of homeopathy with you. We will discuss all types of subjects such as remedies, symptoms, and stories of health. No matter where you are with your homeopathic journey, we aim to inspire you on your quest to natural health and living. The podcast is brought to you by Greensmith, the founder of Homeopathy 24/7, which is a global platform connecting you with a homeopath wherever you are in the world, 24 hours a day. So let's get started with today's chat. Please welcome Mary Greensmith.
I am really happy to be able to welcome Kim Elia here today with our podcast on Homeopathy 24/7. Kim is the producer of the film Introducing Homeopathy. Kim is a world-renowned homeopathic educator and is just the right person to have taken this film on board. As an educator, a writer, and a leader in the field of homeopathy, Kim is working with colleges and education, teaching homeopaths around the world, and also is bringing educational resources to the homeopathic community as a whole. He's just the right person to this job, and thank you so much for joining us today. Hello, welcome. So lovely to see you all. Thank you for joining us. And I'm so happy to be able to welcome back Kim Elia. Hello.
Hi, Mary. Thank you.
Lo-
Thank you for inviting me.
Lovely to see you again. And I know that we've got lots of information to talk about the Introducing Homeopathy film. So what is happening now? Where are we now?
Well, the film is actually going to be premiering on the Children's Health Defense website on February 17th. There'll be two screenings, one in the morning, and then one in the later afternoon evening. And then the later afternoon evening one will be also shown on their Rumble and Twitter sites, and that'll play for 24 hours. And then there'll be the opportunity to view the film on their platform for about a week. And then we'll be doing two more of those over the coming few months. And we'll be doing a number of interviews in between each of the screenings with people who were featured in the film, like, Dr. Richard Pitcairn or Dr. Mitchell Fleischer or myself or the director, just different people who were involved in the project. And we're particularly excited about this because the audience for Children's Self Defense is really an audience that will be very open and receptive to homeopathy. These are a lot of people who have become basically skeptical of the current medical system and all these different prescriptions that are out about conventional medicines that are made and things of that nature. And so they're looking for other solutions, especially for problems for which conventional medicine doesn't have a solution. And so I think they're going to be very interested, and I think it'll be a real opportunity for our profession and our community.
And that's what I really wanted to ask you about, because obviously, um, I mean, let's take the film. Who is the film for exactly?
Well, the film is really designed for both the general public and also the scientific and medical community. So we didn't dumb it down in any way. We have two Nobel Prize winners that are included in the film. I think something like 25 medical doctors, eight naturopaths, many lay homeopaths as well. And so it really is very professional. It talks about quantum physics and things at a very high level, but it also shares remarkable stories of individuals whose lives were transformed through homeopathy. And when, people see this, they are astounded that there is a system of medicine out there that offers this type of healing possibility. And one of the things that we've noticed with the film is that people who watch it who are not themselves homeopaths, after they see it, they say, "Can you help me find a homeopathic practitioner?" Because they see these people's lives transform. They say, "I
Yeah.
want that for myself as well." And I didn't know that these possibilities existed. So, and in terms of who it belongs to, it doesn't belong to me. It really does belong to our community and our profession. I've said that from the very beginning. I couldn't have made this film without the collaboration and cooperation of many different individuals. I mean, so many people supported this project financially and in terms of volunteers, labor hours. It was really a community coming together, and I was very proud of the people in our profession who came together to make this possible, to make this a reality.
It's amazing, isn't it? And obviously, I've seen the film, I've seen the quality, I've seen the results, and I mean, obviously, for me, the objective of the film must be to get something out there to the people who don't know anything about. I mean, I just can't imagine a life without homeopathy, and it just would be a completely different world. So you are opening up this nugget of gold to people who they're not going to know what to expect from this film, are they?
No, they won't. I mean, because I mean, homeopathy has been such a hidden secret, really,
Yeah.
And what's remarkable about that is that there's always been throughout history an empirical school of medical thought that has embraced the law of similar. So it's not, I mean, homeopathy is currently codified as something that was developed in the 19th century by, Samuel Hahnemann, a German physician. But the idea of the law of similars predates that by thousands of years. And that idea has always been part of medical thought. And for us to ignore it altogether and not have it as part of the way that we think about health and disease it's just craziness, really. So this is a real opportunity to expose people to some amazingly profound hidden secret that really represents a renaissance for medicine. And that's what this opportunity really represents for me, is the opportunity to create a renaissance for homeopathy.
And I just suddenly had the thought that if we all, everybody that knows about homeopathy, everybody that is really excited already to be watching this film, just shows it to somebody who doesn't know about homeopathy, it will double our world, won't it, overnight? Because
It-
the quality, as you say, you've included so much research, you've included the science, you've included Nobel Prize winners, you've made this film on a completely different level, perhaps than what's been done before with homeopathy, would you say?
Well, there have been previous documentaries that have been made about homeopathy, and they're good. They have merit to them.
Uh,
The approach that was used in some of those previous documentaries was one of dynamic tension between those who were advocates of homeopathy and those who were skeptical of homeopathy. And we chose not to do that. We simply chose to talk about all of the benefits that homeopathy offers to humanity and actually really all living beings because big pharma has enough money to basically produce and propagandize their own position. I don't need to help them do that. I simply need to show why homeopathy is something that needs to be included in all of the medical systems around the globe. And that's not to say that conventional medical science doesn't have something to offer if you get hit by a bus or you need to go to the hospital or need surgery. These are wonderful technological advancements that we can make great use of. But homeopathy is a wonderful complement to those amazing technological advances and offers a tremendous amount. And if we understood really the importance of the law of similars, our understanding and way of acting in medicine would completely shift.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's worth remembering, I suppose, that quite a lot of Europe knows this already. France, Germany, Belgium, Spain, they're all of the doctors there prescribe homeopathy. I was amazed driving down the motorway and I could pick up a book about homeopathy from a motorway services. Can
Mm,
you imagine,
right.
if it becomes available for everybody, just understanding that actually this isn't woo-woo stuff. This is, very, very plausible and can be used alongside the treatment that you're already having to give you even better outcomes. I think that is something that your film really brings to life.
Well, there's so much research that shows that homeopathy is more than the placebo effect. And, we had a woman from UC Davis who's an expert in the placebo talking about how that's the case, that there's a tremendous amount of research. We have two Nobel Prize winners who are the leaders in their field. I mean, Dr. Brian Josephson has an area of quantum physics named after him. Dr. Luc Montagnier is involved in the discovery of the HIV virus. These are not minor characters in science. These are major figures who won Nobel Prizes, and they have come on and said that there's no reason to believe that homeopathy is not real and that nanoparticles don't exist in these diluted, potentized medicines. And so there's a lot of evidence to support this, and we show that evidence. And I think for the scientific community, that's very compelling. And
Yeah,
that's important because things really work top down. If the scientific community and the medical community and people at the higher university levels embrace homeopathy and think there's something there to investigate further, that
yes,
will trickle down to the general public.
of course, of course. And it's just getting, yes, people to talk about it, opening that conversation,
Yes.
and saying, this is what we want. So, tell me, what are you planning from this? Where are you looking at going?
So, we have these premieres that are being on Children's Health Defense. People can simply go to that website. We will be sending out promotional materials. They can go and watch those. They can share that with their friends. There's no charge. It's the first time we're not charging for a viewing of the film. So it's really an opportunity to share it with friends and family members, as you mentioned earlier. And then subsequent to that, after we do that, we'd like to actually show it on other similar platforms because there's other organizations that have members that would be also interested in learning about homeopathy. So we would like to pursue that further. And then we want to still work with Netflix, but we don't want to give them this film. What we actually want to do, and we're working on that right now, is develop a series of 10 to 12 episodes running 49 to 51 minutes each on different facets of homeopathic practice. So there'd be one on, for example, homeopathy in plastic surgery. We actually collected quite a bit of footage. We have, I think, 3 or 4 hours worth of footage of a woman in the Bay Area who uses arnica incredibly effectively for plastic surgery. We have over 300 hours of footage. We only made a 2-hour film, so we have a tremendous amount of resources and are really now in a position to make a very powerful series of films on different aspects of homeopathy. And I think that will continue the momentum of the film forward because you can have a film and that will create some excitement. But if we have a whole series or maybe even 2 or 3 seasons of multiple episodes, I think that can continue that momentum and really propel homeopathy to where it should be in the medical system around the globe today.
That's amazing, and such good foresight, really, because as you say, if it is a film, then it might go quiet afterwards, whereas ongoing just seems to make a lot of sense to keep that conversation flowing. What are
Yeah.
you expecting might happen when the film is released? How many people do you think are going to have the opportunity to watch the film?
So, based on their track record from Children's Health Defense and previous films that they've shown, we're estimating that for the live viewing, it will be probably around 250,000 people. Then with the recording and then the showings on Rumble and their Twitter channels, it'll probably be well over 1 million. So that's a lot of people. And I'm not really even sure that our community and our profession can meet the potential demand that will be created through that. But it's a bad problem to have. And but what will happen is the community will need to grow and more people will be interested in homeopathy and want to study homeopathy and purchase homeopathic books and homeopathic software and everything else that's involved in, becoming a homeopathic practitioner. And that's what will need to happen. And I think I'm hoping and really encouraged that that will happen.
Yes, absolutely. And us too, because obviously it might just be that wake up call that people do want. I mean, we're so lucky to be in this day and age where we can actually go into people who already find the people who already know about homeopathy. But actually what you're doing is really cracking this nut open and giving the opportunity for other people to investigate it. And that's all we're asking, isn't it? Just don't judge anything before you've tried it, before you've experienced it.
Yeah, if I've learned anything in my life is never to make too many assumptions and always do research and look into things because sometimes the things that you think you know are true aren't necessarily always true. I've discovered that in my own life, but I really do believe the time is ripe and that 2025 is the year of homeopathy.
Oh, well, it's just such fantastic news and such credibility. The quality of the film footage that you've produced is just going to add so much credibility, and of course your team. And I know that the team that you have put together for this is just world class.
No.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your support, Mary, and all the great work that you do. Really, I really appreciate your efforts for homeopathy. And for everyone who's on the call, thank you for everything that you do for making the world a better place.
Thank you so much. I hope you're as excited about sharing this film as I am. It's just going to open up homeopathy to a whole set of people who haven't had the opportunity to watch this film before. Make sure that you are thinking about who you would like to see this film when it comes out live in just a few weeks. Now, next week, I'm just going to be answering a question, a really important question about the ingredients of homeopathic remedies and what actually is on the bottles and why we've put on the bottles what it is. It's a little bit of opening a can of worms, but let's see what happens. Let's see if you agree, or you've got comments, or you've got things that you know about the potency and about homeopathic, the way that the homeopathic remedies are produced. I look forward to seeing you next week. I do hope you've enjoyed these episodes, and I do hope you can subscribe to our channels. Now, there are various ways for you to listen to our podcast or watch it on video on YouTube. So whether it's iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, please do subscribe and please do leave us a review. If you leave us a review on these platforms, then more people will see our podcast. We just want more people to share the joy of homeopathy. It's a choice that everybody should know about. Please do everything you can to help us help more people.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to listening to our next one. Please don't forget to follow our podcast on your chosen channel, and please do leave us a review so we can continue to share homeopathy with as many people as possible. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to us on any of our social platforms mentioned in the show notes. We at Homeopathy 24/7 hope to empower you on your natural health journey.